Hello YouTube fam, today we're playing Blue Black Midrange and Best of 1 Standard. Make sure to watch to the end to see how we've performed and to see the deck. Okay, we're going first and this looks like a good hand, so let's keep. Gonna lead on this Dismal Backwater. See if our opponent, it's a red deck, so they could play something to cut down next turn. Unlikely they're going to play something that we need to Infernal Grasp at 2 mana. I don't know if there's any 2 mana 3/3s in red. So I think we're safe to play this Raffine's Tower here. And just hold up the cut down. 2 mountains on the other side. Okay, come on, face the Caucasus. I think we're good again to get a tap land down here. So we can have the Infernal Grasp up or the cut down. But my guess is we're going to have to Infernal Grasp whatever they play this turn. Especially if it's a Reckless Stormseeker or something like that. 3-drop. Shivan Devastator, okay. If that's something we'll Infernal Grasp as well. Man, tap land tribal out here. I don't think we need to play a tap land this turn. I think we can play this Takanuma. That way we can have this March on X equals 3. We have this cut down as well. March on X equals 3 is important against a Thundering Raiju. Would have been bad to be open to that here when we didn't need to by playing a tap line. So far we're playing mono black cards though. Okay, Squee, okay. Yeah, Squee. So we can remove both creatures, and I think we're going to. Gain some life here. See if we can play something that's not an Invoke Despair next turn. We did not draw anything, but I think we just have to draw 3 cards here. 5 mana, draw 3. Got some removal spells, which will be nice. They did not have 4th land there. They do have Seeker, okay. Cut down is really good against Reckless Seeker, Stormseeker. I think we're going to play this Sorin and this cut down. I think we're going to play the cut down on our turn. Just so they don't get the bonus from the Stormseeker if they move to combat. Could potentially play the Squee. They exile 4 of their cards. They only have 4 cards total, so it doesn't look like they can yet. Okay, killed both our creatures, okay. Have this Urtai though. And we have this Raffine's Tower that we can cycle. So when Urtai enters the battlefield, we can counter this spell, and they can draw a card, or we can destroy another target creature. Not too interested in doing either of those. I think we're gonna Raffine's Tower and see what we cycle into. We might just kill this adversary with the Infernal Grasp. I think we will. And leave up this Urtai for something else. Definitely gonna eat the Squee with his Graveyard Trespasser though, because they could get value with it if they draw a land. Just gonna play out our spells. Now if they want a Lightning Strike or Graveyard Trespasser, they're gonna have to discard a card to do it. Yep, looks like what they're going to do. Should have a Rending Flame. If it's just taking 1, I don't think we're gonna bother with the Voldaren Advocate. We could just flash it in to just block as a 3/2, but I think we want to kill something with the Urtai and block the Epicure when we have a chance. Clearly they have creatures in their hand. They would not have sacked that if they didn't have creatures. They're probably really looking for a land to cast a Raiju in their hand. Found a land, okay. Can we cycle this? We can't cycle and play Urtai, so that's a plan. Really feels like our opponent has a 4-mana spell in hand. Since they're aggressively trying to get rid of an adversary so they could draw lands. At this point, really just need to... We need to draw just some of our power cards. We've stabilized pretty well, gained some life with the Graveyard Trespasser and the March. The Sorin got multiple pieces of cardboard from our opponent. Just taking the damage here. Yep, another cycle. Opponent has something at instant speed that they're sandbagging. Sheldred, very good draw though. It's probably a card that's hard for them to disrupt, and it damages our opponent, plus gains us life, which our opponent really cares more about the life gain. Definitely has something at instant speed, or they're playing full control mode. They have to have something. They discarded this Bloodthirsty Adversary. Okay. Yep. I do have a Rending Flame. For sure. A good draw against Sheldred. Okay, they're on all lands. I think we're going to keep this Urtai for something beefier. Our opponent deciding whether to attack. I have to imagine they think it's my turn. I'm gonna give them the Year Go so they know to pass priority. Alrighty. Memory Deluge. That's a good draw. I'm gonna cast it now. In case I get some juicy cards. Though those cards qualify for sure. That was a good Memory Deluge. Yeah, have to feel like it's over for our opponent now. Just being able to gain so much life here. I think I'm just gonna get another creature to present lethal next turn. Can't imagine our opponent has anything to combat this in mono red with the 1 card in hand staring down. So it doesn't look like it. Good game. On to the next one. Okay, we're going first. This hand has a couple Sheldreds, but usually the first one gets removed, so I think this is fine. A lot of tap lands in this deck, but it's the price you play for trying to play blue spells, but also having as many black pips as possible to play Invoke Despair. Is it more important for us to play Siphon Insight this turn, or Graveyard Trespasser next turn? Our opponent has let on a Plains. I think we are going to play the Insight, because it's going to give us something to play, most likely, on our next turn. They're a low to the ground white deck. See what we hit. Yep, Weaver Harmony. Definitely something we can cast. Gave us an untapped land there, though, but... Do I want to get down this Trespasser? Or do I want to save this swamp potentially in case we draw another tap land next turn so we can have another, so we can play Invoke Despair on turn 5 and for sure play Shelter next turn. Yeah, I think we want to guarantee Shelter next turn or Invoke Despair the turn after. So we're going to play the Weaver. No opponent has a Plains in the bottom of their library now. I do like this Plains art, to be fair. This is a sick Plains art. Shout out to Raul Vitali. Great Plains art. What announcement, okay. Opponent's going wide. Yeah, I think we're just gonna jam a Sheldred. Try to get our beat down on. If they remove it, we have the second one. Invoke Despair is not looking too good right now. Yep. Oh, I thought we were for sure getting borrowed time off of the Jukai Naturalist spell discount, but now I'm not really sure which cards can kill a Sheldred here. Obviously a tap land. Yeah, we're just going to jam with both. Yep, we're fine with those blocks. And that means we can get this Trespasser down to exile that Naturalist. I think we want to exile the Naturalist. Say they play a Ganjo Saga, and they get their choice to return one of these. Which one am I more scared of? Given they have a Weaver in hand, I think I'm more scared of the Naturalist. Catilda, okay. 3/3. Protection from vampires. Importantly, not protection from Phyrexian human wizards. So I think that means, yeah, we're gonna attack with, or we're gonna flash in this Urtai straight off the rip, or could just invoke Despair. Invoke Despair is never bad, but I don't want them to gain this life. On the backside, it costs 5, I think. This Catilda doesn't show me in. Oh, it's not shown. I think it's 5 though. That it costs to cast that. Oh, it just turned 5. Oh shoot, I'm cannot see that. Okay, so on the bottom of the card here. Ugh, it's gonna cost their whole turn next turn if they want to equip it to something. I think we're just gonna invoke Despair and make them make some tough choices here, and pass the turn without attacking. They would rather have the Spirited Companion. Interesting. Definitely means our Sheldred can attack now, though. Don't think we want to kill this Catilda until we can hit it with the Graveyard Trespasser. So I'm going to exile kill these other 2 cards, like in this order. Oh, that's right. With Death Touch, I get them all. That just Okay, yeah, they should not have triple blocked there. This Graveyard Trespasser is going to be able to exile this Catilda, which I'm pretty excited about, unless they have a borrowed time or something that could exile my Trespasser, but they don't have it. So I think, yeah, we're just going to Infernal Grasp the Weaver, Liliana, Zach, the Spirited Companion, and get in with the Trespasser and exile that Catilda. And then we're left with a lot of goodies in hand against our opponent with a Wedding Festivity and 2 cards in hand. Spirit Companion, okay. I mean, that's a good card for them to have. It's a body. Okay. Kaito. Trespasser is really good at exiling things from the graveyard. We don't really want it to die. I think we're going to start with plussing this Liliana. Getting rid of our own Liliana. See what they discard. Lanes, okay. Well, they can't get through the sheltered if we cast it, so I think we're just going to do that for now and I think we are going to attack. We're gonna press our advantage here and we're gonna attack. They have lots of Weavers in the graveyard, so we're gonna get rid of the Spirited Companion in case they have a Sarah Paragon. Yeah, we're definitely killing the Naturalist here. See what they draw. They're gonna need some good draws here to compete. Yep, they know they're gonna have to discard whatever they have to the Liliana, and that's all she wrote. All right, we have the good fortune of going first again, and this hand again looks pretty good. Could get run over by really fast aggro, but it looks good. I don't think we're gonna get a better 6, so keeping this. Starting with the Aquifer there, in case we draw a tap land that turn, and then just keep drawing lands to the tune of us not needing to play this for Fiend's Tower, but that's definitely not the case. Ooh, okay. Just more tap lands, and we're just going to slam the Sheldred Unturd 4. Unless they only have a Thalia still, which I don't believe is going to be the case, yep. Opponent's going to need a way to remove the Sheldred and develop their board at the same time here. They really want to pull ahead. Just a developing on the board, okay. Block any attacks. Yeah, I think we definitely want to kill this Thalia, and then we want to make them sack a creature with the Liliana. That way, if they want to kill the Liliana, they're going to have to sack a creature, but then send also another creature. And our opponent has had enough. GG's. On to the next one. Okay, we're on the draw this time, but we have something to do on turn 2 and turn 3, and I'm sure Siphon Insight can find us something to do on turn 4, so I think we're going to keep. Definitely could get run over, though, with this hand without too many removal spells, but that was a nice draw in the removal spell. Gives us the opportunity to hold up Siphon Insight or Infernal Grasp next turn. Just precisely what we're going to do. They drained and gained for 2 life. Now they have a nice little 2/2. Let's see what they have on this turn. If they play a Graveyard Trespasser or something, we're going to Infernal Grasp to Nizumi and then play Liliana to make them sack it, but that's not what has occurred here, so playing a Celestis in mono black. Okay, getting their ramp on. Just take a look at the top of the deck here, see what we have. Sure. think we're just going to get this Liliana on the field and get our value while we can. They have to use a card to kill this Liliana. We're pretty happy about that considering we have a second one in hand. So just trying to use up the copies as we can. I think it's better than playing in Okaba plus holding up an Infernal Grasp on a creature they might not play, considering they played the Celestis this turn. Like say they have an Invoke Despair here. I think playing Liliana is better, but oh, that was very nice. Very nice for us there. Okay. And at this point, I think we just want to guarantee a land next turn. So I think we're gonna Siphon Insight on their turn. Could have done it on our turn to make sure it doesn't flip, but we do want to have the Infernal Grasp up in case we need to Infernal Grasp something. My guess is we're both going to trade a bunch of Invoke Despairs against each other here. Biting Palm Ninja. Sheldred, okay. Yeah, Sheldred's probably going to eat a Liliana next turn. Oh, yes, yes, yes on the Invoke Despair. Gonna take the damage off the Sheldred, but we're doing pretty well. Oop, I accidentally said to stop there. We're doing pretty well on cards for now, so we're trying to just maximize every one we have. Just make sure we stay alive to be able to cast them all.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows.
Opponent might have another March they want to get rid of this Liliana with, which is definitely, we're fine with that. Played 2 spells, so now we're going to day from night. Deciding what to discard here. We're a little stuck on lands though. We could draw some lands, we'd be in a much better spot. Just cast a bunch of Invoke Despairs in a row. Haha. Yes. They get their own Invoke Despair on us. Question here is on an empty board, would you rather have a Sheldred or a Kaito? How do we lose this game? Probably lose it to another just Invoke Despair barrage here. So I think Kaito is a lot better against Invoke Despair here. So yeah, gets us a creature, but also keeps our Planeswalker around this turn if they cast Invoke Despair. We did exile Invoke Despair from the top of their deck already, so it's not all that likely they have several more copies in hand. Give her a Trespasser, okay. That is fine. Already got our value off our Siphon Insight, the flashback. And an Underdog. Okay. Well, they're definitely going to sack this Underdog. If I cast this Invoke Despair. Let's draw a card first, see what we hit. An Old War. So that does give us the opportunity to hold up Sheldred plus Infernal Grasp this turn. So I think we're gonna do. So we can block these creatures. We have a good discard in Contaminated Aquifer, if need be, for the Ward on the Graveyard Trespasser. At some point we need to leverage a bunch of these Invoke Despairs, but we just haven't had the time. This is the problem with registering 4 in your deck list, is that you really can get stuck on them. Looks like they have a removal spell for our Sheldred here. Oh, that is an expensive removal spell. See if they send both at Kaito or just one. If they send both, we'll let it die. That's probably how we would rather have it. Okay. Yep, they're going to exile our Sheldred, but we're going to kill this Graveyard Trespasser so we don't take unnecessary damage. I think they attacked correctly by attacking the Tenacious Underdog at the Kaito, since that's the card we would be least likely to want to kill. Yeah, we're just going to cast this Invoke Despair and see what happens. Get our 2 draws. Yeah, I don't think we would block a Tenacious Underdog Blitz. Okay, that was pretty good. Being able to double spell while also blitzing the Underdog. I thought that's what they were going to do. Jones did not want to do that. Okay. We're going to get rid of some of these enchantments and draw some cards. Our main fear here is dying to some shenanigans. Graveyard Trespass to get rid of their Underdog here makes us feel a lot better. So yeah, now we're protecting our life total. It's going to be a lot harder for us to die to shenanigans. Probably going to expect my opponent to concede at some point, honestly. Not quite sure what they could have in their hand to get out of this. Looking at my Graveyard Trespasser sideways, so might have a removal spell for that. It looks like they do. They're going to discard something. But now they're going to have to contend with a bunch of spells. I think we're going to play this Katos and exile the Invoke Despair from their graveyard, because that's probably their best chance to get back into the game. Opponent library. Exile both of these. Opponent's graveyard. Exile one of these. Let's get them all out of there. Gives ourselves the option to cast it. They no longer have an Invoke Despair. We do. Should have taken a look at their library more where we had the chance, but this game should be over here soon, so I'm not too worried about that. They're trying, though. They're going to flip Celestis, see what they can grab. And let's draw this card here. I'm just going to cast Invoke Despair from exile. Just cast the Sheldred, try to kill our opponent as fast as possible. Still have a lot of card advantage spells in our hand in the event that our board gets wiped. Discarding a lot of swamps there for our opponent. Yep, each one of those draws is going to cost you an extra 2 life, so anytime you loop with Celestis, it's costing you. And that's something that's going to eat a Liliana Edict. Actually, I think it's just lethal if we use the Invoke Despair because they take the extra damage from it. So we're just going to do that instead. And wow, we've cast a lot of Invoke Despairs. GG. GG. And we're back with Blue-Black Midrange and Dominaria United Standard. Honestly, the deck performed very well. The black core is obviously well proven with Graveyard Trespasser, Liliana, Invoke Despair, Sheldred, Infernal Grasp, and then we kind of, fit some blue-black flair on top of it with Siphon Insight, Kaito, Urtai, Katose. And overall, it just makes for a fun deck to play if you enjoy 1-for-1ing your opponent. And in some cases, 2-for-1ing them with, Siphon Insight and Soren, Kaito, Invoke Despair. The one-ofs were fun in this list. The March of Wretched Sorrow, being able to scale to any time in the game you want to cast it was helpful. In the matchup we cast it against red in order to kill Squee. And the Memory Deluge was very good. It just found 2 very impactful spells, which is what this card is going to do a majority of the time in our deck. But we don't want to be spinning our wheel all the time. We want to have Memory Deluge be good every time we draw it, and it was there. So I think having the one of it's appropriate. I do want to add that if you want me to play your deck on this channel, please submit it in the Google Forms down below in the description. I would love to play your deck. But until next time, wherever you are, whenever you are, have a magical day.